I want to talk about two themes that have been playing out within myself. I've seen them in other people, and today finally I'm able to put some words around it and kind of make sense of what's been happening for the past week or so. So, theme number one, I wrote down denial of lower emotions due to achievement of higher morality, right? And that denial sometimes maybe can be replaced with something like non-acceptance of lower emotions due to achievement of higher morality. So to build a little bit of a context, right, for the past 6 weeks, 2 months or so, collectively we've achieved a higher morality. And what I mean by that, um, either personal events, triggers, huge triggers, not just little ones daily, family events, career events, children events, things like that, close to our attachments. It could also be external world events that have been really pushing us into areas of vulnerability, compassion, openness, flexibility, where we really had to question our morality, um, our values to an extent, a border. That border has been pushed even further. And with that, overall, our perspective, our understanding had to come into a greater union, into a greater love, a greater aspect of love. Um, and yeah, like just a higher level of thinking. Okay. Not only that, we also became comfortable already. We're already comfortable with that type of thinking to the point where, wow, look at me reacting to this in this way. Wow, look at me responding. Look at me. The types of thoughts that I'm having now are so different. It's been really refreshing in the positive side of that, right? But with that, that's the prepping. We're stepping into this 12-12 portal, right? So this energy is all about letting go, purging, of seeing, having the clarity to see things that have never been understood before within ourselves. And when these two consciousnesses met, we kind of came into a really hard period for, could be for days, for a week, moving. And some of us we're still kind of finalizing that 12-12 portal and now moving into Mercury retrograde, still in Sagittarius period. So another way of kind of thinking about it is that as we moved into as above, this 12-12 portal, it has shifted us into moving ratio, the same ratio, into the as below, right? So that integration for many of us looked more like a sickness. I've heard people having fevers, right? And it's really hard to pinpoint if it's, the flu or COVID or something like that, because you might have fever uh, one day and the next day you wake up and you're super refreshed. And then another day goes by and you might feel kind of yucky. And then the following, because you're processing a little bit more again, and then the next day you feel refreshed again and you feel great. So it's really hard to understand, is it a virus, is it bacteria, is it something you ate? For me, it was nausea. I pinpointed on this piece of pie that I had, and I thought, oh, it's that piece, it's that pie. And what happened, I had to constantly go outside for an evening, because I was a little bit hot and my brain was on fire. Just the top of my head, it was just really bad. And going outside without a jacket felt so good and felt so refreshed. And I just understood that just that grounding and needing to be outside, it's not the pie and it's not what's happening. Even so, that emotion and the nausea was with me for a couple days until finally the morning of the 12/12. I'm watching me thinking how these emotions, I haven't felt like that since I was a child. It was just like ding, ding, ding. You need to process that. So I sat with myself and I processed it. It was yucky. Just this nausea and feeling bad. Okay, it really came out, but it was at the same time, it was so beautiful because it was just flowing. As soon as I realized that what I was doing with myself, I was self-neglecting myself. I was not accepting myself. Somehow the comfort level of this morality, and for me it was lack, right? Very many variations, and you know, there was a colorful palette of different stories and different emotions, but the overall theme was just lack. Okay, in my morality, there is no lack. I can just look outside, and it's been, nature has been blessing us with amazing sunrises and sunsets and different light hues and beautiful snow, and it's just amazing, right? So I know that there is no lack. I understand that. Somehow these little children, right, the child with aspects of me, were not integrated yet into that. And I was denying me. I was abandoning that piece of me, not accepting that, and pushing that even deeper to the level that I was just becoming nauseous, right? That's how intense these things can really become. So, so yeah, just pay attention how this new thinking integrates with the whole of you. And are there any aspects that are right now, you know, might be feeling abandoned, and how that integration, sit with that and allow that integration to happen in the fullness of you. Okay, number 2. I have here the holding of the union consciousness in the mind is transferring to the body. Okay, the holding. I think for many of us, we've been really in this position of holding or being the bridge, transferring light and consciousness from the unseen into the material. And it's been really, really tough. And I feel like many times I'm feeling misunderstood because I feel I'm doing a lot of work, right? If it's at nighttime or even during the day, just the holding and paying attention to my thoughts and paying, just constantly just being aware, right? But to the outer society, it just looks like you're doing nothing, but you're tired and exhausted all the time, right? And finally, that holding is being transferred. And that makes so much sense because the other pieces that I've been getting for the past couple of weeks now, it's been strength training. Get your body into a higher condition, right? And I'm not a lifting type of person. I love cardio. I like movement. I really like running. And I've been kind of neglecting it until recently. Finally, I asked my husband, because he's really good about exercising and training and things like that. So he helped me. I went and trained with him, and I thought, I really pushed myself, and I thought I wouldn't be able to even lift my arms. But the opposite happened. I felt so amazing, and I felt so good. And even the next day, like my body felt alive and expanded. So now I'm really taking all that instruction, right? The strength training, the vitamin, the minerals, the eating balanced, because the body really needs the assistance. It really needs the support to integrate this consciousness, the higher, the unity consciousness, is now physically integrating into the body. And it really makes sense with the previous stage, right? The purging, the letting go. You're making this space, you're making room for this higher consciousness to enter a lower density level in your body, right? All of it just clicked. All these little pieces that have been happening and I've been writing down, all of a sudden today is like, wow, they're all together. They're not independent, and I have to follow through with them. So the other beautiful thing is freeing the mind. So what does that mean? Freeing the mind. There was this space, right? Higher consciousness, this light packages were coming in, and you had this mind space for you to process whatever, over days, over weeks, whatever it was. But you had that buffer before it would go into our bodies, and we would make sense of it. And a lot of this was happening over time, right? And the mind was really preoccupied. It would take a lot of energy for all that to happen like that integration time and space, right? But now the space is becoming very, very small. And the way I understand it is that the mind is being freed because all that processing is happening in real time, which also means the body has to be able, it needs the strength and the capacity to also process information, and that integration is happening in real time. That is amazing. That is beautiful. And as the mind is freed from whatever functions we thought the mind was doing before, all these thinking and analyzing and shifting and all these perspectives that were playing out, right, for that integration to wiggle itself down into the body, right? When that is freed, that means that the mind is just placed into the processing of the allowing. We're really moving in a real way, in a practical way, from this doing to non-doing, right? Because it's not this person. We're moving in this unity consciousness, and we're allowing that consciousness to move through us, through this instrument. And it is mind-blowing. It is amazing. It is, as the hold is releasing, and I'm starting now to feel how it's finally releasing, because it's been really tough. It's been really a lot and heavy. And as that is moving through, that excitement in me, even though I have no idea how it's going to look like, I don't understand how it's going to just unfold, and we're all going to play our roles, and we're all going to unfold it together. I just can feel this excitement and this movement coming through. So with that, I'm hoping this clarity that I'm having today will also help you within your clarity, and it will bring an amazing solstice and an amazing new year. So thank you so much, and have a beautiful couple of weeks unfolding.